Good morning, guys. We find ourselves again in the car. I thought we could do this little Q&A in the car, like as a sort of like car chat Q&A video. Also, it's better here in the car, out of the way of the dust and the noise. Like, nobody tells you about the dust bogies, do they, when you're doing real like brickwork renovations? But anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video is a Q&A because I asked everybody on my Instagram and then on my YouTube as well, if you've got any questions around the renovation, because I do get them filtered out throughout the videos and the comments. So I thought we would do a video and address them all. So again, you'll have to excuse my appearance. I've still not brushed my hair. I've not got a good system going yet, guys. Like, I am all over the place. And I've also got a few little friends keep appearing. That's because everything's all just upside down. So, excuse the way I look, okay? This is real life. So I've got quite a lot of questions here. There's also quite a lot of the same question I'm getting all the time, which is basically everybody's asking if this is our forever home, and I'm going to answer it at the end, okay? So you'll have to wait and see. So I've got a few questions to get through, so let's just get started, shall we? Or else this video will be like an hour long, and we don't want that. I've got to get home and, you know, help out. We can't keep hiding from the work. Hiding from the work is like hiding from the money. Oh, and by the way, if you see me looking down here, I've written them down because I had them over on Instagram. I did a box. Is it called a box? Like a poll? No, like a question box, and asked on my Instagram, sorry. And then I also asked on YouTube. So, and then I'm getting a few Facebook questions as well. So I've just compiled them all and written them down here in front of me. So if I keep looking down, it's because I've got them here. So, do you find it difficult to leave a house renovation when it's finished? And the answer is yes. Even though, like the last house, even though we bought the house with the intention of renovating and selling in the first place, we actually did it for that reason, I still found it difficult to move on from it. At the same time, you're creating, I know you're doing up a house and it's like a renovation, and during it, it's like really boring sometimes and stressful, and you have your ups and downs. It's like a major roller coaster, and you know, it feels like it's going on forever. But in hindsight, looking back, the memories we created whilst we were there during the renovation, like I've got such fond memories, for instance, and they're all during the renovation. I remember sitting down, ripping the wallpaper off the living room and crying and sobbing because I couldn't believe we'd actually bought our first house, and I was just so happy. And then in the kitchen, like COVID hit while we just ripped out the kitchen, so we had no kitchen for the first lockdown and we didn't know what was going to happen. Really scary times. Everyone was on rations at the supermarket, so you could only like get a few bits and bats, and it was just a really hot summer as well, wasn't it, that summer? And I had to cook on an oven, like my freestanding oven, because we'd pulled it out. I had to cook on a freestanding oven in the kitchen on the floor with a bit of worktop, and I don't know how I managed it. So, excuse me, if I lived through that, I can live through anything. I can't even believe that even happened, can you? It's like a dream. When all that happened, I can't believe we've actually lived through a pandemic and a renovation at the same time. But it's all part of the journey. Even though it's not a positive thing in the moment, it all becomes part of your story. And I'm really fond of our story. So yeah, it comes down to memories. And you know what? What I found from doing the first one is, and hubby's exactly the same, we're on the same page luckily, or else we won't be doing it again. It's as simple as that. But we enjoy the we enjoy the journey more than we enjoy the destination. Of course we enjoy the destination. The house we created last time was absolutely gorgeous, and we're really proud of ourselves, and we really enjoyed it. But we enjoyed it that much where we're doing it again because we enjoyed the process of it all. So even though we're living in a building site now, like I said, it hasn't dampened my spirits because I know what it can become, and we're just enjoying even these moments, and they all make up part of our story. Not to mention all the blood, sweat and tears that goes into it, and the money. Obviously you get the money back in the end, like payday is worth it when you've sold the house, and it's worth a lot more. So money doesn't really come into it so much if you're doing it for money, which we are doing it for money, but we're also doing it because we enjoy it as well. We're not like putting ourselves through this for nothing. Do you know what I mean? We actually enjoy it. It's like our hobby, and luckily it's making us a lot of money as well, or it has done so far, so good for us. Okay, question 2. Which room are you most excited to get done? Obviously in the new house. So any room I'm excited to get done at the moment. Obviously, I've said it before, we're basically camping in an empty house. That's the situation we're finding ourselves in. And originally we do set out with a bit of a plan. Obviously with any renovation that can change along the way, so we did set out with the plan to do the bedroom first, because I love my bedroom. Like, I'm always in my bedroom. I just love it. Like, that's where I go to relax. That's where my happy place is, in bed. But yeah, so we always plan to do the bedroom first, and then we like kind of live in the bedroom and then get ourselves through the rest of the house. That was the plan we used last time, and it worked really well for us, so we're just going to apply it to this one as well. However, the bedroom has now turned into what hubby's calling phase 1, which is the master bedroom. Underneath that is the snug lounge that you keep seeing me updating on Instagram. And then so yeah, upstairs master, downstairs snug, which is directly underneath, and the hallway there in the middle. So that has all turned into phase 1, and we're doing it all at the same time at the moment. So yeah, I'm excited to get any room at the minute done so I can live in it. So mostly the bedroom, because that's where you sleep, isn't it? And you can also like camp in there during the day, can't you? I mean, it's nice if you can lay out on your bed. It's like laying out on a sofa. So that's why we choose the bedroom first. Okay, question 3. I love your style. Can't wait for this. Are you an interior designer? Well, first of all, thank you very much. And no, I'm not an interior designer. In fact, I have got no background with any of this stuff, if I'm being really honest. My whole working life, I was a travel agent. I've also got a degree in criminal justice, nothing to do with bloody houses and property and home interior. But home interior is a hobby, and it's a real passion of mine. Also, hubby has no background in property or anything like that, really. He is a tradesman though, so he is an electrician by trade. So we save a lot of money on like rewiring the house, so I'm really grateful for that. He's also got lots of contacts in the trade, really, in the trades like sphere. I don't know what you call it, industry, in the trade industry. So like he knows builders, joiners, his brother's a joiner, his other brother's an electrician as well, and like his dad's really good at driveways and things like that. Just has like lots of contacts, plumbers from work that he knows, things like that. So that helps us out a lot. But basically, we're just winging it and we're doing it all ourselves. Like the last property, my husband didn't know how to tile. He taught himself how to do tiles, like from YouTube videos. There's so many professionals on YouTube teaching you step by step on how to do something that you'd be silly not to try it yourself. He's picked up so many new skills that he would never be able to do normally. Now he can tile floors, he can tile bathrooms, so we don't need to get a tradesman in to do that, therefore saving ourselves loads of money. He's more building side of things, and I'm more of the decorating and the design of things. I design it, and then hubby makes it happen. But sometimes we have to pay for a professional to come in. So for instance, the plastering work, we don't know how to do that, so we have to pay for a plasterer, unfortunately. Next question, how do you budget for your house and your bills at the same time? Well, we actually have a really strict budget, actually. So don't think for 1 minute I'm living the life of Riley whilst doing all of this as well. Like, money doesn't grow on trees. Like, blood, sweat and tears and sacrifices actually go into it. We started budgeting, really, when we were looking to save for our first house. We were looking at all our bills, how can we reduce them. I stopped having all the beauty treatments, nails, lashes, etc. Saved loads of money from just that. Oh my god, I keep saying it in videos, I know, because honestly it's costing you a fortune, girls. We turn off all our radiators in our house. Sorry, there's just a runner going by then. I just felt really awkward because I'm like literally sitting here talking to a camera. It's really awkward when you like vlogging in public. Anyway, it's gone now. Yeah, we just budget ourselves. So we turn off our radiators, we get extra blankets out, we try and reduce our bills as much as possible, and just budget really, really well, really. So sacrifices, and we sacrifice a lot, you know. We sacrifice weekends out and eating out every weekend and takeaways every other night or whatever. And our food bill, we plan our meals so that there's no waste. And yeah, there's a lot of budgeting and sacrificing going on, and we've actually got used to that mindset now, so it's just like in us. And as some of you may know, I love my clothes and fashion and brands and a little bit of luxury here and there, so there's been none of that over the last few years. Well, I do buy the odd piece, and but I'm really careful about spending. I also have changed my style, so everything I buy is more timeless and like with forever in mind. And I also buy a lot from vintage. We thrift furniture now and upcycle where we can, and we actually really enjoy that mindset. It's like an old money mindset, isn't it, with investment in mind, rather than flashy and throwing it away every 2 minutes because like it doesn't grow on trees. We're trying to build wealth, not like spend it, if you will. Sometimes spending is an investment though. Like, for instance, buying a new car versus saving up for your first house. Yeah, you can go out and buy yourself a new car because you want that new big shiny car, new car, but then you're stuck paying for it and you're kind of in debt until you've paid it off, aren't you? So that's not a great investment. So because as soon as you walk out of the showroom, it's depreciating, car goes down in value. Whereas if you bought your first house, like, there's good debt and bad debt. Mortgage is a good debt because you're going to end up with that. Your money is being saved in property. So it's an asset. It's more of an investment, and property generally increases over time, doesn't it? Back in the day, they used to buy a house for like £6,000. So if you think about it in a lifetime span, it actually goes up. Even though the market goes like that in the moment, the house prices actually go up in the end. So, yeah. I literally sound like a money saving expert right now. I'm just giving you my general experiences with money and what I did and what we did. So obviously I know that everybody's different, but yeah, they're the things that I did to like save on bills and budget. Have I answered the question? Did I answer the question? How do you budget for the bills at the same time as doing the renovation? And obviously with this renovation, it's going to take less time. So the last one took 3 years because not only did we have to save up the money to buy the house, then we didn't have any extra money to do the work on the renovation itself. So we worked, saved up a chunk of money, did the next bit of renovation, blah, blah, blah. And that's why it took us 3 years. However, this time we made a profit on the last house, which has given us a chunk of money to just get a head start with the renovations. That's why we're cracking on. More about that one later. Let's look at the next question. How long did it take for you to save for your first house? Oh, that's a good question. So, quite a while actually. Well, we expected it to be quite a while. So we were in a rental property, so that's even worse, isn't it? Because you're paying rent every month, which you might as well be paying a mortgage, but it's not yours. So you've still got to pay your rent and then save a lot of money, like at least 10 grand plus, to get even a head start on your house. So we decided, we were both on the same page. That was our financial goal, and then we set out to achieve it by budgeting, reducing bills, saving money on beauty treatments, like I've just mentioned. So we were getting along really, really well. We were grabbing every bit of spare money and we were putting it into the pot, so to speak. So we'd been doing that for around a year. We just let our families know what our goal was. We're saving for a house. So if they were going to gift us anything, please gift us money so that we can put it towards the saving part for our new house. And do you know what, guys? Before you know it, you've accumulated, surprisingly, a lot more than what you think when your mind is set on that financial goal and achieving it. And you get there a lot faster than what you even think, a lot faster than what you set out on paper to do so. So anyway, in the end, Ash's parents offered us the deposit for our first house, which we were really grateful for, but we could have done it in another 6 months. We never expected it at all. We were set out to achieve the goal anyway, but if we hadn't have had that deposit given to us by parents, it would have taken us, personally, our circumstances, around 1 year and 6 months to save for our deposit for a first house. So, but it's so worth it. Even if it takes you 2 years or 3 years, do it. Because the time is going to pass anyway. And oh my God, you were never going to regret it, getting into property and getting on the ladder. Okay, next question. Hi Suzy and Ash, congrats. Is this your forever home? There we go again. So I'm going to answer that at the end because I'm getting a lot of those questions. Again, are you selling this house when you are finished? And do you think you'll settle in this house? I'm going to answer that at the end and tell you what we're thinking at the moment. The next question is, we can't decide between a new build and an old house. Any advice? Oh, that's a really good one, isn't it? So there's pros and cons to both. So it depends on your personal preferences, what you can see your lifestyle looking like. And, you know, like, for example, for us, we haven't got any kids. Well, Joelle's grown up now, so she's an adult. We have no little kids. We don't plan on having any kids. We don't want them. So a renovation project for us is the perfect scenario. And like, there's exceptions to every rule, and I know there's families out there who are living through rentals with children, but it's got to be difficult, surely. You know what I mean? I know it can still be done, but I couldn't do it. You know, like living through renovation and you've still got normal family life to look after, like making tea every night and the kids up for school every morning and trying to just live a normal bloody life that you have to live, you know, the same old routine of having kids. I couldn't think of anything worse. Do you know what, guys? I know I'm going off topic now, but that was the most thing for me that I didn't like about being a mum. It was the mundane routine of every day. Not her, she wasn't the problem. It was the having to go to school every day, having to go to, like, I just want to live life and do what we want, but you're not allowed. I suppose you could buy an older house that's already been renovated, like say if someone bought ours and we've already just done it for someone and then we sell it on, you could buy one like that, I suppose, so that would be good. But yeah, again, it depends on a lot of factors factor in. It depends what you want for your lifestyle. Like everything's new in a new build, and a lot of people say that they get to choose the kitchen or they get to choose this, that and the other, but you know, like, we looked at new builds before we started on our property journey, so to speak, buying our first house, and we looked into it, and I just, the options that they give you when you're choosing, you've still got to do a lot to a new build once you've moved in. They're so plain, like they don't even build them with coving, they don't even finish the ceilings off. They remind me of, and please don't be offended if you've got a new build, but they remind me of like matchboxes, copy and paste houses. Please don't be offended when I say this, because I know they work for some people and they don't work for others, like me, because we're all bloody unique and different, and that's the great thing about life, isn't it? That's why we're all bloody beautiful people. But for me, when we were looking at new builds, my discrepancies, my cons, so to speak, were they remind me of copy and paste houses. They were too close together, so I'd want a detached. But they're that close together, you might as well not be detached. Obviously, they attract a lot of families when we don't want kids. So you can imagine the estate, and it's very noisy, and the kids. It's not a vibe for me. That's not what I see my life as. And that's okay. And it's okay if you do. And the pros for the older houses were, we were looking for a renovation project anyway, so that were a tick for us. We wanted something to do up. An older house, you're going to buy it generally, if it's not been done and you like it and you bought it like that, you generally want to change a lot of things anyway. So we were looking to a renovation project anyway, so and put our own stamp on it. And I just felt like the footprints were bigger. They're built bigger. They're bigger. And it's as simple as that. And I feel like they're built more substantially. They feel solid. They just feel more solid. Older house for me was for the win. But then again, I like a private life. I like it private. I like a lot of I like countryside. I don't like a lot of people. And also, my best advice with that is bear in mind that it's cheaper to build than it is to buy. So what I found with the new build houses were, and hubby was the same, they're very expensive for what they are because they're built new and shiny, and you go and see the show home and it's all styled, ready to sell you the dream. This is what you could live like, kind of a thing. So yeah, they're shiny and new, but they're very expensive for what they are. The only way me and hubby would have a new build house is if we did a self-build, if we self-built it ourselves, and I'd still want land to self-build on so that I had no neighbours. And I want to build it out of what stone I want. I want it built out of Cotswold stone, and you know what I mean? So that's the only way I'd have a new build, is if we built it ourselves. Next question is, I love your style. It's very classy. Has the cost of living affected you and your family? Yeah, it's affected everyone, including us. However, Lady Luck has played a massive part in a series of fortunate events when it comes to me and hubby personally. And like I said, everybody's got a unique experience. Fortunately for us, luck has just played a massive part. Let me tell you the story. And when I tell you, I feel like God's favourite child, I am not joking. In 2019, we decided to buy our first house. Under normal circumstances that everybody else finds themselves in. They've been saving forever for the first deposit, blah, blah, blah. And we bought our first humble little house. In early 2020, COVID hit. So back from November to February, COVID. Also, we all had to stay at home, which, again, another stroke of luck. Lucky for us. And we're just so grateful that we got the luck of all this. We were stuck in the renovation anyway. We weren't planning on anything like holidays, anything like that. So we were already stuck at home doing the renovation, whether COVID hit or not. So we just cracked on with the work we had to do in the house while we were stuck there. It just worked out perfectly, weirdly. So again, COVID affected the property market. All the property prices went sky high, including ours that we'd bought. Again, luck, as well as renovation, which helped raise the worth of the house price. Right, here's where it gets really, really fortunate. So we remortgaged after 2 years at a super low rate, and we fixed it for 7 years. So we sold our house, made a massive profit. But this one, super, super cheap because it needs so much doing to it. And our mortgage payments are so flipping low. I'm not even going to tell you the number because I don't want it to seem like I'm bragging with all of this, because I'm really not that girl. It's just been luck. I thank God every day. It's luck of the universe. I don't know. Am I God's favourite child? I don't know. And yeah, the profit we made on the last house, we paid off a massive chunk of the mortgage as well, as our payments are super low. And we've also got another chunk of money, because we saved half of it, to give us a head start on this one. So yeah. Now, again, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging. Please don't take it that way. I'm not showing off in any way. It's just a stroke of luck. It took us all our decision making and hard work to even get here in the first place and making the right decisions. But otherwise, we'd be in everybody else's situation. So I just wanted to say, because normally I wouldn't talk in depth about money because I don't think it's very classy to do that. And I just don't think you should. I don't want anyone to think I'm showing off, because that would absolutely devastate me. If you know me, you'll know that. I'm just like super proud of us more than anything, or excited. It's always excitement. So please don't look at me and feel jealous. Please feel inspired. There's people worse off than me. There's people better off than me. I don't look at the people better off than me. I never did, and think, I'm so jealous of you. I look at them and it inspires me. That's the difference. I know it seems like, you know, the cost of living crisis is bad, and it is really bad, and I feel for people. And please don't get me wrong, I do my bit. I don't have to come on camera and tell you all that what I'm doing for charity, or what I'm doing here and how I'm helping other people, because that, again, it just looks like I'm bragging, and I'm not that girl. But please know that I do my bit. And also, I know the cost of living crisis is bad, and I really feel for those people. And again, we're spending money that we've made from the last house. It's just being invested again. That's all we're doing. So it looks like we've got a lot of money to spend. Well, we have kind of from the last house, but it's going into the house. It's just been a series of fortunate events for us. I'm so fortunate, I understand that. And it hasn't always been easy for me. If you know me personally, you'll know that. I don't come from family. I don't come from family. I don't have a family. I don't really have a family or speak to any of them. And like, I don't come from money at all. In fact, we were born with nothing. Like, I've like made the right choices and invested and worked really hard, you know, to get to this point. I just wanted you to know that. So next question, how do you decide which house project to buy? Well, there's a short and sweet answer, and it's buying the house. Buying the worst house on the best street is our general guideline. You might have heard that one before. So look in a good location where there's good schools and things like that, because that's in a highly sought after area or town or whatever. And then a really good street in that area. And there will be some that pop up and they're like really dishevelled if you're looking to do a renovation project. And they're the houses that we target the most. After that, it factors in about the potential of the house. Like, we'll have a look round on the viewings. We sometimes do a few viewings and we're like, what could we do with that? Is it going to be worth it? Blah, 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 blah. And we assess it that way. I'll just give you an example with this new Edwardian property we've just bought. So these are old Edwardian houses. I'm loving the history of it, by the way, because it's like a new challenge for me. So I absolutely love all the history of it and everything. I'll talk about more of the history in some of the next videos for you if you're interested, obviously. But for this one, for instance, it's so much work. Like, as you saw, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. It's very overwhelming even. And it's a big family house, so you're not going to get a family looking at the house and then wanting to do all the work whilst they're living in it. It needs somebody like us, and that's why the house, we're the perfect owners for the house, and the house is perfect for us. So we've got no kids, so we can do it. We're looking for a project, so it's perfect for us. And then when we sell it, we can sell it to a big family already done. Next question. Are you keeping the round window? Lol. I know which round window you're talking about. The creepy window at the end of the corridor on the ground floor of the house. Yeah, it's creepy, isn't it? Everybody's bloody commented on that window. But no, I'm not bloody keeping the window. It's creepy as hell. I hate it. I also hate the corridor. And I think I've actually just shown you guys an update in the last vlog of part of that area. We've actually blocked it up now. Spoiler if you haven't seen that video vlog, but yeah, we've blocked it up now, and the window's also partially blocked up. You'll have to follow along on the vlogs to see more of what we're going to do with it. Inside the corridor, it's going to basically become part of the cloakroom, and I'm going to use it and turn it into a mirror in there. Creepily, no one wants to go to the toilet in my house, do they? So we've also got a message from Instagram saying we are due to move in a few weeks and don't know where to start. Any tips on packing? Tips? My main tips, if we're going to be... Did you just see that squirrel then at the back of me? Isn't that cute? We're actually sat in the woods in the little car park in one of the entrances, and it's just a vibe. Anyway, my happy place for sure. Tips on packing. Well, briefly, I got 3 boxes from B&M. Don't go buying them off Amazon. Save yourself a bit of money, because we're all about that money saving mindset over on this channel. And you know, I want you guys to win too. Yeah, go and get some free boxes from B&M or any kind of shops like that. Just ask around for some free bloody boxes. A marker pen, a Sharpie pen, and some duct tape, or the really strong thick tape that's like your stuff's not going to fall out of the boxes with. And they're what you're going to need. And then I also like grouped together things. So like everything out your bathroom cupboard that you're going to be taking over, what you know was in your bathroom cupboard or could be in your bathroom cupboard, put that into one box. All my shoes, bags, accessories into another box. What else were there? Cutlery, dining plates into one box. So yeah, and then label them really, really well. Sorry, we just had to stop again because somebody was outside my car, so I felt really awkward. But what were we saying? Yeah. So yeah, label them really well, and I'd also leave out a box of essentials, and in that box I put everything I'm going to need in the next week. So toothpaste, cleanser, moisturiser, a hairbrush, all the things that you're going to need in the next week. And then in one box, and then I'll be living out of that box basically until I've unpacked. And that's my tips on packing. Nothing really. You'll probably find better tips off of TikTok or, excuse me, somewhere else, because I'm not an expert packer for sure. But good luck with your move as well. So now the question on everybody's lips, so it seems, is, are we going to be staying in this house once it's finished? What do you think? The answer is no. We will be selling this house. It is a renovation project. I'm going to do it beautifully. I'm going to do it as if it was my own house. So it's my dream, and everybody's working on the dreams, aren't they? So am I. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. You'll never be this young again. No matter what your age is right now while you're watching this, you will never be this young again. So everybody's working towards the dreams, or whatever your dream is. Mine is my dream house. Property is really important to me. Coming from no money and not a great family and moving around a lot, it's very important to me to have security and stability. And I hope that gives you a bit of an insight as to why I'm so obsessed with like property and houses and my own house. I love being at home. It's my sanctuary, and that's why I put a lot of focus on that. For somebody else, they might not understand that, which is fine. Everybody's unique and different. That's what makes us all beautiful humans. On top of that, it's lifestyle. Like I said, we've chosen in this lifetime together, me and Ash, not to have any kids. We don't want any kids. We don't want that lifestyle. We want quiet. We want land. We're both on the same page, by the way, obviously, or else we wouldn't be together. But yeah, we want land. We want a house with land. We want a private house. I don't want any neighbours. Not that I don't like people. I do like them, but I want to live privately. I just like the countryside lifestyle. So unfortunately, you know, houses with land and countryside and that kind of a vibe come with a certain price tag. The number doesn't matter. I'm working towards my dream house, and like I said to hubby, I don't know what that is. All I know is it's got land and it's really private. And you know what? If I never ever reach my goal, my dream house, that's fine. I'm quite happily staying this one forever at the same time. So what will be, will be. I'm just working on something. You know, like, everybody's got to have a purpose in life, haven't they? Or the world would be very bloody depressing. So whatever your goal is, whatever you're good at, whatever your hobby is, work on it. And get inspired and go with the flow. And yeah, that's all I'm doing here. And it's working out pretty well. And yeah. And yeah, this video is probably really long already. So I'm going to leave it here, guys. Thanks for joining me in this video. Thanks for joining us on this renovation adventure that we find ourselves on at the moment. I'm sure there'll be loads of ups and downs. I hope I've managed to give you an insight into our life and what we're doing with life at the minute and on this journey. And I hope you're inspired. I hope I've answered most of your questions. And if you've got any more, leave them in the comment section and I'll answer them there. And yeah, I best get home to the hubby because I've been sat here for a good hour and a half. I best get home and make some lunch for hubby. He's working hard, bless him. So I'm over on Instagram if you want to follow me over there for some like real-time updates. And other than that, I will see you in the next renovation vlogs. So until then, take care, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.